Hello everyone. I'm just going to start with a small introduction. My name is Karishma Shah, and I'm an integrative health nutritionist and wellness and health coach. I'm from Mumbai, and my practicing clinic is in Juhu in Mumbai. Today, I'm here with Thrive to talk about um, how we've taken the beautiful concept of Ayurveda and used it to fit our modern day and modern times. So what is it that we need to do, and what is it that we need to focus on now to be able to use those same traditions, use those same ideals of Ayurveda in our day-to-day life. With all things now, since we're in 2021, we have this thing where we have to evolve with time. We have to change our routine, change our diets, change our entire lifestyle according to the current environment and the current times. So Ayurveda says the same thing. It's an age-old tradition of following things which have a certain scientific and physiological logic behind it. And that is why we do the things that we do, which are mentioned in Ayurveda. Indians are, all thanks to it being in our roots, Indians are very well acquainted with, most of the basics of Ayurveda. And, the Westerners have now caught up as well. And they're all very in tune with what, Ayurveda has to offer, and what is it that they can inculcate in their life to, live a sustainable lifestyle. Ayurveda also talks about living our lives in more sustainable ways. What is it that we can do on a day-to-day basis that is going to help us, get over every single thing which is in our environment and which is affecting us now, all thanks to the outbreak of the virus last year. The buzzword has been immunity. Immunity has been in conversation ever since COVID hit the entire world. Suddenly there has been conversation now not about weight loss and not about what I should eat or what I should not eat, or I don't like this and I don't like that. The conversations and the dialogues now are more about how can I make my immunity better? How is it that I can use daily things which are easily available in my house, and how can I make use of those things and have a sustainable immunity level? Because it's the same immunity level which is going to help us stay away from the virus if we haven't got it, and it's the same immunity which is going to help us fight the virus if we get it and then recover ourselves again. Okay, so today's conversation and topic is also about the same thing. So I have taken some fundamental some fundamental points from our beautiful Ayurveda, and I've put it across in my own way of how we can incorporate few things now in our life to be able to be more immunity based, more strong, how to actually fuel ourselves the right way so that we can deliver whatever it is that the future times are going to ask us for. So I'm going to share with you guys a presentation that I've made, okay? And we're going to go through it very quickly, and then we can take questions, okay? So I'm just going to, just give me a minute. Just going to share my screen with the presentation. Okay, so here it is. Okay. Is it visible? I hope the screen is visible. I'm just going to check. Okay, great. So the screen is visible. Okay. Well, how do we build our immunity naturally? How is it that we can use fundamentals of Ayurveda in today's day and time? Okay. And how can we build our immunity? First things first. A dominant plant-based lifestyle, a dominant plant-based diet is what is going to bring us closer to getting stronger immunity powers. Okay, so the more plant-based our food is, the more natural, the more whole our food is, the better it is going to be for us to be able to deal with all these chronic diseases and chronic conditions which are going to be following now. Okay. So, um, cruciferous vegetables. So everybody knows why we need to eat our greens, okay? And I'm going to be throwing some light on why it is really important to have our greens. Okay. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed how a broccoli looks like, or how these green leafy vegetables look like. They look like small trees. Okay. And there's a reason behind it. The reason the broccoli looks like a small tree, the reason, our, lettuce, our bok choy, our mustard greens, they all look like small little plants. They all look like small little trees, is because they have those kinds of nutrients within them. These green leafy vegetables, these cruciferous vegetables, they have that kind of power within them to be able to, fight our antibodies that are being, produced in our body. And they have very strong immune boosting powers. So cruciferous vegetables, which are cooked well, are mandatory to start including in your diet. Mushrooms. So if you already love mushrooms, this is going to be very good news for you. And if you don't, well, there's always a first time. So mushrooms are also small little trees, if you see it. They're like small little pods, and they are nutrient powerhouses. So including, things like mushrooms in your daily diet would actually be very strong for your immune system. They also have properties in them which actually fight autoimmune conditions. And when our bodies start making antibodies, it's these kinds of foods that actually help us to overcome these kinds of diseases. I'm going to introduce you to another word. It's called anti-angiogenic food and nutrients. As I said, this is a modern take on Ayurveda. Okay, so I'm going to be throwing in all these words, and I hope you keep up with it. But very important. Okay, what does it mean? What does anti-angiogenic foods mean? It means that they're anti-aging foods. Everybody knows the amount of power that everybody wants with aging. Nobody wants to age. Everybody wants to feel young, fresh, look beautiful all the time. So how is it that we can reach this naturally? We can do that by eating foods, by having foods which actually have that kind of nutrient power in it to actually reverse our aging, which is very high in antioxidants. And then it helps us in fighting diseases, building our immunity, and also giving us anti-aging properties. So we're going to talk about that. So all alum vegetables, okay? Alum vegetables are basically vegetables like garlic, onions, shallots. These are, very rich in lots of properties which are very good for our body. Berries, all kind of berries. We should start embracing Indian berries. I'm not talking about the blueberry over here. I'm talking about our basic berries. The boar that we have, the amla that we have, the mulberries that we get in India. All the forgotten little berries, the local berries which we used to eat as children, the star fruit, all these things, these need to be a part of our diet now. This needs to be a very big part of our diet so that, we get those kinds of, immune boosting powers and anti-aging properties from these foods. Rice, there's so much being talking about rice, and I feel like I have another webinar only for rice, but to keep it short, rice is magic. Please embrace rice in all its forms. Okay. Cinnamon also has lots of properties in it as a herb, as a spice, as a basic Indian spice. It's very good for people who are diabetic. It's very good for people who have low immunity levels, very good for women who want to conceive. Incorporating cinnamon in your food is going to change things. Citrus foods, as I said, vitamin C, we're all being taking shots of vitamin C, but we forget that we can get it from food. So citrus fruits, cruciferous vegetables, as I've already mentioned before. Flax seeds. Flax seeds are great source of, vegetarian omega-3. So basically flax seeds are tiny seeds which are full of nutrients. So, incorporating the flax seed, all the seeds, we'll come to that, but incorporating these things in our diet is actually going to help you a lot. For women, also for women health, flax seeds are fantastic. Ginger. I have, I can't think of anybody who doesn't like ginger. I personally love ginger. And we all know why we like ginger. It's got anti-inflammatory properties. It's very, very good for our digestive system. It's basically a small little powerful, first aid kit in itself, So I think ginger in all its forms is fantastic. grapes. So we all know that red wine is very good for our heart, but what is red wine made from? Red wine is made from the grapes. So for people who do not want to go into having red wine, they can actually start having grapes, because they have antioxidant properties, and they're fantastic for anti-aging properties also. Green tea, everybody knows what green tea is, but I would say, try and have the natural form of the green tea. Get the raw leaves, get the normal chai ka patti, which is available in the market, and make a concoction of that and have it, rather than buying pre-made things which are like just dip in the market. Mushrooms I've already covered. Omega-3 fats comes from, as I said, it comes from flax seeds. It comes from all our natural things like walnuts. So embracing these kinds of foods is very good for us. It's very good for our for our beauty, and it's also very good for our brain. Peppers of all kinds. What are peppers? So capsicum, the red bell pepper, the yellow bell pepper, all these are peppers. Even the chili, they're all peppers. So they also, in Ayurveda itself, the chili has been given a lot of a lot of importance, because it has certain properties in it which enhances the properties which are low in you. So being mindful about the amount of peppers that you're having, and having them in a good quantity, is going to help you. Pomegranate is my favorite fruit, and why should it not be? Because again, it's have you looked at how a pomegranate is? It's got these hundreds of seeds inside, and they're all seeds. So it has very high antioxidant properties. So eating the pomegranate, not the pomegranate juice, but actually eating the pomegranate, is very good for your health. Soya beans consumed in the right quantity, any soy products consumed in the right quantity can benefit you. Spinach, I don't need to talk too much about spinach, because everybody knows what gave power to Popeye. It's a personal favorite, and I think spinach should be a very good part of our lifestyle now. Embrace the other forms also, the local wild varieties. We have the batua, all different kinds of green vegetables, the spinach, the baby spinach, the wild spinach, sarso ka saag. All these are types of green leafy vegetables which need to be a part of our diet. Tomatoes, everybody knows that tomatoes are very good for our health. It's actually a fruit. The tomato is not a vegetable, but it's actually a fruit, and we all know that incorporating good amounts of fruit in our diet is very necessary. So tomato is definitely a part of our anti-angiogenic foods. Turmeric is also very, very important for our health. We have this general perception now that heavy doses of turmeric are going to give us immunity levels, but actually that's wrong. Increasing the amount of turmeric that you're going to be eating in a day is only going to make your body more warmer and more hotter. And if you have things like acne problems, if you have hormonal issues, if you have probably if your body gets overheated, then consuming turmeric on a very large scale is not going to be good for you. So if you are consuming turmeric, have the natural form of it, and have small quantities in every day, along with a little bit of black pepper with it, because the piperine in the black pepper supports the curcumin in the turmeric, which actually works together in tandem and then gets absorbed into our body. So I think that's the right way to incorporate turmeric in our diet. So I have spoken about all these, beautiful things. Just to focus again on those, onions and garlic in the right amount of quantity should be a part of our diet, because they have metabolism boosting properties. They have antioxidant properties, anti-inflammatory properties. So please make sure that if you are somebody who is looking to add foods to your diet specifically for certain needs, then onions and garlic have to be a part of it. Pomegranate and berries, I've already mentioned. It's just everybody likes to eat fruits. Everybody likes to drink a fruit juice rather than eat the fruit. But I personally feel that, eating the fruit with the real fiber, with the way that it is, gives us much more benefit than actually having the juice of it. So even if you are somebody who, has only been having pomegranate juice till today, please start having the pomegranate itself. All the Indian berries that I have mentioned, please start making that a part of your diet. That's going to help a lot with immune boosting properties. So I hope that was helpful. I will be now taking questions and answer your queries if you guys have anything about whatever I've said, or also about something else which is probably a concern for you. So I'm happy to answer questions now. Okay. So, so I've got a couple of questions. Okay. Foods to avoid while losing weight. Okay. So I'm going to tell you something very quick. There definitely are foods to avoid. Okay. If you are trying to lose weight, there is definitely a very large food group that you should be avoiding if you're trying to lose weight. But along with that, I also feel like taking out one food group, or incorporating one food group, is not going to ensure weight loss. If your goals are weight loss, there are lots of other things that need to be found out, that need to be figured out, and you yourself need to work with somebody who's a professional to help you with all those things if you are struggling to lose weight. But I would say, if you are please take out all the processed food, all the food that comes in packets, all the foods which is instant food, all these desserts, all the rich Indian sweets that we have, which are probably bought from outside. If you are in the mood to have something sweet, prepare something at home which is easy. Moong dal halwa is a fantastic thing. All our Indian basic things which we make at home, shiras, are very good for us because we know what we're putting inside it, and it's made with a lot of love with whoever makes it. So I think it's a good thing to stop avoiding, stop having processed food at all. That's the first step to it. Start with taking out everything packaged from your diet. Try and stick to homemade, easy made food, and it'll start the process for you. Second question is best foods for glowing skin. So I just mentioned all these things. That was the reason for me to mention, so many anti-angiogenic foods, because they're all so important for us if we want glowing skin, if we want to always look young, if we, if we want to feel our best all the time. I think I think I already mentioned that, but to give you a quick little review, incorporating good Indian berries, incorporating citrus fruits, incorporating, herbs like cinnamon, turmeric, jeera, ajwain, eating homemade food, eating rice, all these things, the basic dal chawal that we eat at home, all these things are what give you glow on your face. Okay. So, and all the foods that I mentioned, all the anti-aging, all the foods which are very high in antioxidants, those are very good for you. So if you start making those a part of your diet, I'm sure that the skin is going to get much, much better. And water, let's not forget water. Please drink a good amount of water throughout the day if you want to feel hydrated, if you want your skin to glow. Okay. I have another question. I want to know about protein foods, Mr. Vrushank. Okay. Protein foods. Protein is something that needs another webinar, but I'm just going to make it short, and I'm just going to say something that do not focus on protein. Okay. The focus should not be only on one food group. Do not be like, I only want to eat food which has a lot of protein in it, or I only want to eat food which is very high in fat, or I only want to eat food which is very, good carbohydrates, bad carbohydrates. So let's not get into all those things, because what that does is it starts isolating our thought process of what is good for our body and what is not good for our body. Okay. And every time that you think of these things, if your choices also resonate with that. Your choices of food will start resonating with these things. So start looking for things like, what is the kind of food which is going to give me satiety, which is going to make me feel satisfied, which is not going to make me feel guilty after eating it. What is the kind of food which is going to which is going to give me good energy and not make me feel lethargic and not make me feel like now I can't do any work. What is the kind of food that is going to do that for me? So to find that out, I think that is the kind of food that needs to be talked about, and not just protein foods. And if I give you a short answer, your basic dal chawal is very high in protein if had together. So, start having that also, because I think it does wonders for people who are looking to increase the protein in their day-to-day diets. Okay, Mr. Shrikant, thank you for your comment. Thank you so much. I'm very glad that you liked the presentation. Thank you so much. And I hope that the skin conditions get better. If you start, following a more plant-based, whole food-based diet, the skin conditions will become much, much better. There's inflammation in the body for you with all the things that you've mentioned over here. There's inflammation in the body, and if you can reduce the inflammation in your body, the problems are going to reduce. Easy Indian breakfast meals. Okay. So breakfast is something that is, of course, very important for us. Okay. But a lot of people don't feel like eating breakfast. A lot of people are like, I don't feel like eating breakfast, but I, just want to eat one or two things. So, here's the right answer for this. I feel like gauge your hunger every day in the morning. And according to your hunger, choose the food that you want to eat. So if one day you wake up in the morning and you're not that hungry, you don't specifically have to eat something which is hot or which is, like a part of your routine. Eat a fruit, feel light, it's okay. And on one day, if you wake up and you're really hungry, make a nice poha for yourself, add peanuts to it, add some, vegetables to it that you like, eat the poha. Or, you could also make something like a nice, knee dosa, and have it with coconut chutney. Knee dosa is so easy to make at home, and coconut chutney is full of the homemade coconut chutney that we make is full of good fats, good nutrients, very good for skin and hair. So, these kinds of things. You can also make simple idlis, you can also make simple dosa, chutney, and have those things for breakfast if you're very hungry. And if you're not that hungry, then you could just stick to probably a fruit or some nuts, Next question is, vegans do not have milk products. So how can one survive without milk? Okay, so to answer this, you don't need milk to survive. Honestly, you do not need milk to survive. And what I mean by milk is, the dairy products, the dairy milk that we get from, the cow, the buffalo. We don't need milk to survive. We can again have a very large talk and a different webinar just to speak about why milk is not good for us and why we don't need milk to survive. But to keep it short, you definitely don't need milk to survive. And as far as your other needs like protein from the milk or calcium from the milk, these are very, very easily available in plant-based foods. If you choose the right kind of food and eat it at the right time and do the right routine, the calcium is going to get absorbed in your body in a much faster and better way as compared to the little bit of calcium that you get through your dairy milk. Thank you. Someone has just said that the session is really nice, very informative. Thank you so much. I'm glad that, this is good information for you all. So we're going to wait for like 2-3 more minutes so that we can get some more questions. Okay, so the next question is, what are the biggest mistakes that people make while losing weight? Okay, this is a very nice question, actually. So people don't realize that losing weight should never be the focus, okay? If we have our entire focus on just looking at our scale or on just trying to lose weight, it's going to dominate our entire livelihood. And we're not going to be able to think or do anything else. So the one thing that I would tell you to do to lose weight is to not think about losing weight, okay? There are so many other things where our energy is needed. There are so many other things where we can help or we should be doing things. I think investing our energy in those things, bringing our mindset in a way where if there are certain things that I'm not doing, why is it that I'm not doing it? Am I finding some kind of solution? Maybe I start a diet plan today. So I know that I have a behavior of getting off the diet plan in 1 month. I'm going to do it for 1 month and then I'm going to be like, I can't do this. Let's go and find that problem. What is it that pushes us to not follow it after 1 month? We find a solution for that thing, move over that, and then we start whatever we want to start. So I think, finding answers within yourself of why certain things are not working out for you would be a very good thing for you, So I would say the biggest mistake that people make is that they don't find out the reasons behind why they're not losing weight. They are always so obsessed with, I will not eat this, I will not eat that, or I will only eat this. And that's just the thought process that is going on. They're never thinking about what are the other things that they are doing, or what are the other things that are not favoring their weight loss. So I think shifting focus to that would help anybody and everybody who's trying to lose weight. Yeah, so I also so someone said people cut on rice. So yes, this is just so. I think all my clients till today have been whenever I have told them to eat rice, or even the other webinars that I have done, the other sessions that I have done, everyone has been quite uh, you know shocked when I'm like, you should eat rice every day because it's got those kinds of properties and it's very good for your body. I can go on and on and on about the properties of rice, but one of the things that are the most important about rice, and I think everybody needs to know this, is that rice is the most easily digested grain for our body. It's easy to digest from wheat. It's easier to digest than millets. It's easier to digest than anything that we eat. Rice is the most easily digested grain. And why do we shy from eating it? So I think if you're struggling to lose weight and you have never eaten rice, or you try to stay away from rice, start having rice and you will see how it helps you. So the next question is, does a high metabolism help in faster weight loss, like sweating? So high metabolism does help in weight loss. A lot of times what happens is that a lot of people come in with a low metabolism rate, and there are reasons for why their metabolic rates are low. There could be emotional reasons, there could be physical reasons wherein they have some kind of underlying health issue. Okay, like for example, they have thyroid issues, which is slowing their metabolism down. They have very high amounts of antibodies in the body, and that is slowing their metabolism down. A lot of times people come in with some kind of underlying intolerances, and those are the intolerances which are food intolerances, environment intolerances, and those are the things which are kind of pushing their metabolism rate down. So yes, faster metabolism does help weight loss, but if you are somebody who has a slow metabolism, there are ways and means that you can eventually start bringing up your metabolism rate, and that will definitely help with weight loss. The next question is, people say it is good to change cooking oil after 3 months or so. Is it true? Also, which oil is better? Coconut seed oil, groundnut oil, or any other? Okay, so oil, again, is as controversial a topic as rice. So a lot of people say we shouldn't be eating oil. A lot of people say that a little bit of oil is okay. And a lot of people are like, no, we have to put oil in our food because this is how our grandmothers have been doing things. So we have to eat oil, So here's my take on it. I feel like everybody needs different amounts of fats, carbohydrates, proteins, micronutrients, macronutrients, all these things. Each body is different, okay? Which is why I said spending time with yourself, spending time with the way that your body reacts, you'll start understanding patterns. So if you are somebody, let's say, for example, who has cholesterol issues, triglyceride issues, high blood pressure, you have underlying health conditions, reducing your oil intake will definitely help you. Okay, but if you are somebody who is healthy but trying to look at let's say changing your oil after every 3 months, I think the oil should be changed as per the season. Ayurveda also talks about that. Ayurveda talks about doing things seasonally. So changing your oil after, let's say for example, you are somebody who wants to eat something like sunflower oil in the summer. You can have that as long as you're having it in small quantities for things that you really need to eat it for, like you're adding it as tadka to our sabzis. We're adding it to eat our occasional homemade fried foods that we eat on a day-to-day basis. If you're using it for all these things, then we can use any oil of choice. But groundnut oil, which is our a lot of people say that the kachigani or the groundnut oil, which is the local favorite, is sometimes not suitable for some people. People have peanut allergies and they don't even know about it. So using a peanut oil will trigger their peanut allergies. So if you are somebody who has some kind of allergies or intolerances, figure it out if you are allergic to groundnut or peanut, and then you can't consume the peanut oil. You'll have to switch to something else. And when the season is more cooler, people start shifting to things like the sarson ka tel, or they start shifting to things like til ka tel. So that's also a good practice. And if you want to use some of these oils to make certain kinds of traditional food, why not use them and go ahead and do that? But I think moderation is the key with oil. You have to be moderate with oil for sure. Oil, fats, any kinds of, I'm talking about ghee, oil, any kinds of fats, moderation is the key. Okay, so the next one is, which is the best brand of green tea? Okay. I don't believe in having store-bought teas, first of all. Okay. No matter how nice they are, how good the packaging is, I don't believe in drinking those kinds of green teas. So if I was asked personally how I make my herbal tea, I make my herbal tea with real fresh ingredients. I will kuto my own ginger. I will put in all the khada masalas that I want. I will put in fresh green tea leaves, which are available in the market, tulsi leaves, I love tulsi leaves. So I think, invest a little bit of time. Okay. Make the real stuff at home and then drink that tea. That herbal concoction is going to give you much, much more benefits than this local branded green tea which is there. Okay, so the next one, and probably the last one that we're going to take today, is foods to stop hair fall. Okay, so hair fall has lots of reasons. Okay, there could be lots of underlying reasons. So one is the basic climate change. Okay, every time that the climate changes, there is a certain amount of hair fall, which is it's shedding period, so it will happen in most cases. But if your hair fall is chronic and it's a lot of hair fall, then we have to find out the conditions which are there beneath it. Do you have underlying thyroid issues? Do you have underlying problems like alopecia? Do you have these kinds of things? Is it a genetic problem? We need to find out all these things for figuring out why the hair is falling in the first place. Second thing, if you specifically want to eat something to stop hair fall, I think start eating things which are very good for specifically for hair. Like, for example, the alsi seeds, which I mentioned earlier, flax seeds. Second thing is we also get these seeds called the watercress seeds. Okay, it's called the halim seeds. So incorporating those also in our food. Sometimes there is a deficiency of iron, our hemoglobin levels are low, some people are anemic, so that also causes hair fall and we don't know about it. So start eating foods which are rich in iron, and those are going to help your hair, give it the strength, to actually start the cycle of hair growth again. So have nuts, have lots of nuts, stuff, have a good variety of nuts. Have the seeds. Sesame seeds are fantastic. Watercress seeds, the halim seeds, as I said, are fantastic. Flax seeds are very good for our hair. So once you start with all these things, you'll start noticing a change slowly. And coconut, how can I go wrong? How can anybody go wrong with coconut? Coconut is fantastic for hair. If you are suffering from hair fall issues, if you have a dry scalp, if your skin is dry, start making coconut a part of your diet. You will automatically see the magic that it does. Okay, so this is it for today. Okay, and I am very, very happy to be a part of this today. I hope all the information that I've shared has been beneficial to you guys. Also, so there's a link in the chat box that has been just provided. So if anybody wants to book a personalized session with me, they can click on that link and I will be available for that. So I'm wishing everybody lots of good health, lots of good vibes, and I hope to see you guys very soon in another session. And thank you, Thrai, for having me. All right, so should we end the session then? Neha? Okay.